Greetings, Guardians, and welcome to the voice of the. Wow, this is the first time in like 36 or 7 episodes I messed up the intro. I've never messed up the intro before.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're welcome.
All right,
Bloopers.
I blame it on you, Uldren.
You two can't be together. You guys get lost in the Leviathan.
Yeah.
You know.
Let me start again. Greetings, Guardians. Welcome to the voice of the Vanguard. Today I have with me Sully from Sully Games. Say hello, Sully.
Hello, Guardians.
And we have a special Guardian with us today. We call him Uldren, but his team name is Uldren Solves Left Teste.
That's me.
Yeah, so just like end up to like just tell the people about you and like what you do or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, a little introduction about yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much to say. I'm just your average Destiny player. I guess the only thing is that I probably just do raids. I'm not super involved in all the bounty grinds and stuff like that.
What? Gotta be in the bounty grind.
No.
It's content.
Oh yeah, big content every season. Looking forward to it. Next season, guaranteed.
Guaranteed
But yeah,
bounties. You heard it here first.
Uldren's part of our clan, so and he's very knowledgeable.
Yeah,
like
big
every
part
time
of
I
our
hear
clan.
him and Sully like talk on stream, I'm just like captivated. So we figured we'd ask him to come on. He said yes, so here he is.
Yeah, should be some good topics. We got like a few of them. Probably going more towards like the expansion, not next season, but I guess we'll find out Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm always happy.
Yeah, so we'll end up talking about the cutscenes that were released. Talk about what we've been doing in the world of Destiny. Our question of the week this week is if you did a raid with an NPC, which one would you pick? And something that we ask all our guests: what is your favorite Destiny 2 raid? And if you play Destiny 1 raid. So,
Am I supposed to be answering that?
yes.
Oh,
You're a guest.
you say it plural. You make it sound like there's more than one of me.
There was like whatever.
So, really, I didn't play a lot of Destiny 1. I had the game, but I didn't have anybody to play it with, so I never took interest in it. Destiny 2, on the other hand, I got big into the raids, especially once I got into the clan with y'all. And if I had to pick a favorite raid, at this point, it's probably Crown of Sorrow. It's very
Good
chaotic,
choice.
and it's a lot of fun to do, especially with people that you know, and you know that stuff's going to get done, like last night. It can be a living nightmare if you're doing it with people who don't know what's happening, but I don't blame them.
Yeah, yesterday was fantastic. We had a really good raid group.
We really did. But Crown of Sorrow, favorite by far of Destiny 2 raids, personally.
What's your least favorite?
Least favorite is probably going to be, I almost want to say Leviathan. Nothing particular
No.
against it, but it's just, it's kind of boring. Just done it enough times that I don't feel like I see anything new. Even people who are just jumping in can usually get a grasp on that one pretty quickly. Aside from Gauntlet, but Gauntlet is gone. Otherwise, it's just kind of a very box standard run around, go to this room, do a thing, go to this room, do a thing, and it all loops back through that Castellum, which gets kind of boring. So,
Yeah, we're not taking you down in the underbelly because
no, we'd get lost
Yeah.
for 3 hours. Kane has a lot of personal experience with that one, unfortunately.
I have a lot of fun doing that though.
I enjoyed myself.
Guardian,
What
I feel
is-
like is my least favorite, just because of the same reasons you said. Done it a billion times or 50 times
Yeah.
now, and it's fairly simple, straightforward.
I still enjoy Garden, but yeah, I mean it's a little too simple.
At least the stuff from
hoping to
Garden is
see.
still usable to me, though. Like that's
Yeah,
part
that's
of
the
the
thing, right?
influence.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's why you have to do Garden, is because it still drops the relevant gear, but especially the big thing is with the armor, you got to have up-to-date armor so that you can actually use your mods that you got. And that's just a good way to do it.
Yep.
What's your favorite Guardian? Like what's your
NPC.
main? No,
Oh,
not NPC.
you mean class.
What's your main? Yeah.
So my favorite class is Warlock. My other two character classes are very neglected because I just don't enjoy playing them. My Warlock's just who I spend all my time on. Especially when I did play D1, that was what I started with, was Warlock, and I like being able to jump and fly and float everywhere, so... Titan just
Smart
makes me
man.
feel fat.
I will not accept any
Smart
Titan
guy.
hate on this podcast.
Look, man, I if I had it my way, I'd be a lot more vocal about it. I'm taking your feelings into consideration, okay?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You hear that? He's encouraging me to abuse you.
Just Titans, not.
Yeah, I guess NPC as well if you want.
Oh, jump right into the NPC raid.
No, just like your favorite NPC.
Oh, my favorite NPC, Marasov.
Okay.
Love her.
Uldren and Marasov, huh? All right.
Yeah. I'm not gonna get into it.
It's always the I think kind of the typical guy response there, because she definitely has like the looks for like the anime side, but
She's hot. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I like me some Marasov.
You let her step on you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Toes right on my face.
There we go. That's all we had to say.
yeah, we need to see some fucking cosplay next year at GCX of Marasov. That'd be nice.
If we see Marasov cosplays, I'll be cosplaying as a doormat.
So yeah, let's get into what we've been doing in the world of Destiny. We kind of answered that earlier with Crown. But yeah, I'll let Sully start first with this.
Once again, a lot of raids. I do plan to probably these next 4 days. I'll probably just plan like maybe a prestige raid for Leviathan, just to finish off Acarus. But
You still haven't finished that off?
No, I haven't. I'm 8 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be done with that after the next one. Honestly, when I haven't been raiding and focusing on triumphs, we did. Was it Sunday when we did the public events? When the three of us went around as Titans.
Was that before reset this week?
I think it was.
I think so. It was Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that feels like yesterday to me.
Yeah, especially for you. People are working at home or not working right now. Like every day just feels like the same day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just been raiding, working on the triumph score, working on finishing off some quest lines that I was just too lazy and just felt like playing Crucible. So, determined to get that 100k triumph score before the next expansion.
There you go.
Yeah. Me and Uldren did some Crucible over. I think it was yesterday, right?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yeah.
That was fun.
We got some really fun like elimination matches where we just shat on these guys. It was great.
Nice.
Built my confidence up for trials next season.
There you go.
You know I got you back, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I just ran
Hopefully-
around with Recluse and Mountaintop the whole time, and it was a lot of fun.
Hopefully with next season too, you bring back some a lot more Guardians, and it kind of helps with the matchmaking.
Yeah.
Kind of make it a little evened out for trials and just Crucible in general.
Dilute the pool.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's talk. Uldren, you don't have anything else to add, do you?
I was just about to say, Uldren, what have you been doing?
Ain't much to add there. I've just been working
Right.
on a lot of the random crap that I haven't finished yet that everybody else did 3 years ago, you know? Finishing catalysts like Outbreak and Acrius, and just doing random triumphs that I'm like, oh, I can finish that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just doing the
47 tributes, man.
Boring
I'm almost
stuff.
done.
There you go. Have you done Solo Flawless, the mission?
I did. I actually mentioned that in the chat the other day. I just finally finished that stupid thing. It actually wasn't that bad. I ran my Sacred Provenance, the Achelos shotgun, and Xenophage, and just absolutely destroyed everything in there. So that's my
Yeah,
recommendation.
I've yet to attempt that, so I need to go in there and finish that off.
It's
Yeah, I
not
need to
bad.
do that too.
Just bring heavy ammo finder. Make sure you've got Xenophage shots, and everything that pops up with a bigger health bar than yours, just make sure it knows its place.
Okay. Will do.
But yeah, I haven't
if you're
been
gonna
up
do
to
that,
much.
stream it, Sully. I want to see you do it.
No, I mean, I'll be streaming it, so.
He needs you to bring up his confidence so he can do his.
Yeah, I guess like also just the bounty grind for next season, stocking up on the bounties and stuff.
Done a few.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do too. I think this weekend too is just get a bunch of bounty grind.
I gotta get Last Wish, man. I've gotta do 30 of them to make sure I get my 1K, man.
The 1K.
So let's talk about season 10. Predictions on how season 10 is going to end.
It's not.
It's not. It's just gonna. They're gonna cancel.
They're just
season
gonna
11.
extend season 9 or 10. I mean,
They're just gonna double
Okay.
season 10 through
9.
season 11's runtime.
right. This is 10 too. They're doing the Final Fantasy thing.
Season 10 2.0.
God, I hope not.
Looking forward to season 10 Dream Drop Distance.
Oh god.
So I gotta sneeze.
So yeah, the Almighty has been getting bigger in the sky. I don't know if you guys have been looking at it or not, but it looks fairly close now. Like it looks like it's about to enter, I was gonna say it looks like it's about to enter our atmosphere, but I don't know how big it actually is. But
At the size
it looks
of it, it's
fucking close.
I mean, it's closer than it's been.
Yeah, but it looks massively close and it's crazy. Do you think they're just gonna extend the Almighty like storyline into next season? Because that seems like what we're doing here.
I need to look and see where that tweet was, but like somebody mentioned at Bungie, and they talked about like so far like we know like nothing about how this season's gonna end and about next season, and Bungie replied with them in quotations like so far. So I wouldn't be surprised if something maybe happens tomorrow, because sometimes they like to do stuff on a Friday because that's when like Whisper of the Worm drop. So maybe we see something like at Reset tomorrow that would happen.
Yeah,
on how they're gonna end in season 10 with like maybe the Almighty blowing up, or like I think somehow it's gonna like the pyramid ships are gonna be involved.
I think so.
I think they're saving it for fall, man.
I think they'd be blowing their load a little early if they just went straight for the pyramid ships. Well, it would be cool.
They did do the tease with Jupiter, but like, here's the thing: we see the shadow or the outline or whatever on Jupiter, but if you go down into the Warmind bunker, it shows that they're barely approaching Saturn. So I don't know if his map is outdated, like Rasputin's map's outdated, or lagging behind, but
I doubt it.
It's weird.
Maybe.
I don't know if I'd say that, unless they suddenly develop something that's going to be like, oh, well, Rasputin can't actually keep accurate track of them. They're a lot closer than you think, which, I mean, I guess they could do that, but that'd be kind of, ruin it with the word. Yeah, that I'd put some patience on.
Do you think, if Rasputin does blow up the Almighty, do you think the tower gets damaged? Like people were kind of predicting with the glitch that they got into a tower with it being destroyed.
Didn't that get debunked as something else? I might be wrong about that. I just thought
it might have
seen something and they were like, oh yeah, it's from blah blah blah, and it was something that they were like, oh, it's not actually going to be the Almighty. Don't quote me on that because I don't know for certain. I just think I heard that. I really don't think that the season necessarily is going to end with it getting blown up. Like I was half joking when I said it's not, but the fact that they're holding off their announcement for season 11 until Tuesday, the day of, implies to me that they might have something coming in these next couple of days that is going to lead directly into season 11. I'm inclined to believe that that's why they're holding off, because it's going to spoil something. If they said, oh, this is what's happening, it's probably going to be something relevant, like maybe some kind of Cabal fighting based mode, because that's another issue. I don't know if I'd say issues, might be jumping the gun a little bit here, but where's I going with this? The season was planned ahead of time, and I'm inclined to believe that season 11 might be more of what we've had the past two seasons, with a planned event and bounties and stuff based around that. Because as somebody pointed out in a Reddit post I read earlier, is that this is still technically part of Year 3, Season 11, so I'm thinking they planned it ahead of time, they had their stuff written up, and it's still just kind of more of the same for the moment, because even hearing the community feedback, if they've been working on it for long enough, I don't know that they would have had enough time to scramble together and change things how people want it. So, I just think that next season might be more of the same, and it's going to be something based around the Cabal, maybe even the Almighty itself.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't... We'll kind of save this talk for later, because I do actually have this as a topip for you for your predictions for next season.
We can move this to now. It's not that important.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do. I don't think it's gonna be based around Cabal. I think either we'll get something tomorrow, or we'll get a cutscene finishing off Season 10 to then translate it into Season 11. I know Kane had a pretty good theory of that the Almighty is going to get blown up and get destroyed, and all the pieces are going to fall. Did you say EDZ?
Yeah, I was just stealing from Poly T, so...
Okay, so Poly T. We'll get the credit for this. But, I could see Fallen being involved if it does happen to get blown up, and eventually with it being so close to the atmosphere that it is now, unless, he absolutely, hits it with, a massive sleeper simulant, that thing's gonna be, get destroyed and be in, pieces, so it's gonna have to go somewhere.
See, I was more inclined to believe something like that, but considering how it's not crashed yet, and there's, no, evidence of anything going to be happening with it, I think next season will also deal with Cabal, just because it's been Cabal, right?
Yep.
So,
yeah, I guess it has been. Well, except for Season Undying, but...
It's still a lot of just aftershocks, I think, from the original storyline from D2 of the War with the Red Legion. They even made a big point out of them wanting to use the Corridors of Time or whatever, the Sundial, I think. Wasn't it, to try and retroactively win the Red War?
Yeah, yep. That's what that one was about, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I think it could be. More Cabal.
Yeah. But yeah, Undying hasn't... Yeah, Undying was the Vex. More Vex related.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I could see a Vex offensive with Cabal.
Yeah, but it's...
Dawn had the Vex involved as well with Saint, but the Sundial was Cabal based.
Mm-hmm. So you have anything else to predict with Season 11 other than just Cabal, and we have to still deal with the Almighty?
Offhand, I been trying to think about it, especially when they brought up the Drifter thing. I do think that might not be a big part maybe at the start of Season 11, but that's making me think that they might be planning to progress more with the Vanguard versus Drifter storyline or whatever.
Mm.
I could see more drama happening there, and that might just be leading to something new with him. Obviously could be extremely wrong about that, but it just seemed really random that they're suddenly okay, here's the Drifter doing whatever he's doing.
He's flying towards Europa, which doesn't have the Deep Stone Crypt, as I was confused about.
So where is it? Do we know?
It's supposed to be in Enceladus, but that's
okay.
Yeah, everything's been pointing to it in Enceladus.
Gotcha.
Which is Saturn's moon? I don't know.
I think it's Saturn's moon. I might be wrong.
But yeah, let's talk about the two cutscenes that we got. So the first one that actually, it was a leak, I believe, before it was actually revealed. But
it was.
There's one here with Eris walking on Europa.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what else to say other than that.
Well, I saw somebody on Reddit, point out that the item that she's holding is a... What's it called? Something of light from the offerings for the Blind Well.
Oh yeah, the charges of light or whatever.
Charges of light, yeah.
I've been seeing some predictions for people saying that they think we could be getting a new subclass, and it could be a frozen subclass. Your thoughts about that?
Like an ice subclass?
Yeah, like an ice.
I'd buy it, but I find it unlikely personally.
Same. But it'd be cool, but...
Same.
But, I mean...
I don't know.
Yeah, it was like,
That seems like it'd be another thing to file under expansion editions if they're going to do it. Not...
Well, yeah, I think these 2 cutscenes that we received aren't really building into the season. I think they're building hype for the expansion.
Which I am hoping that what they are planning to do is lead directly in that, because it seems like that's definitely what they're doing, but slowly ramping up towards that at this point and building towards the hype for that instead of just saying, oh, let's hype up the season. No. Enjoy next season, but the big thing is the fall expansion.
Yeah, I think that's what... I mean, you and I, we've talked while we were gaming. I've talked with Kanan on the podcast about this. I really don't expect Season 11 to be, like, a whole lot better than Season 10.
No.
Like, I think it's just going to be, like, another season. I do think it is going to be better in Season 10 in terms for, like, the PvE people. But I think what's going to happen is that the community is just going to kind of get back into it just because of the hype for the next expansion. And I think that's what Bungie's probably planning. So maybe they're like, we're not going to really talk about Season 11. We're just going to kind of do it all together on one day.
Yeah.
To then make Season 11 probably sound better than what it really is.
I think they're just gonna talk about the next fall expansion and not talk about the next season until like maybe a week out. But
a week out.
Maybe a week
next
out.
Season starts.
I know exactly. That's what I'm thinking though, because I just don't have a lot of confidence in like their seasonal
structure.
Plan. Yeah, structure.
But there was that the manager posted that video of, I think it was Deej, or no, was it Luke Smith and some other Bungie developer?
I don't think it was either of those, but it was some Bungie developer that I don't know his name.
But it was 2 Bungie developers talking about how everything is gonna like come together in Season 11. So
yeah, he says like this is where it all like culminates and stuff, but. He said Season 11, but I like when I was watching that originally, I was just thinking, that's how you tell a story like over multiple seasons, and then at the end, before the final, like before the fall expansion, everything will culminate in that one season, and then we go into the next thing.
It's the third act, maybe.
Yeah, exactly, a third act structure.
Yeah.
I didn't take it to mean that like Season 11 is going to blow your mind or it's going to be unlike it.
Oh yeah. I think there's been some people that's had some crazy expectations for Season 11.
Even though I think they actually said that, but I don't take their word for it. That's the thing.
So.
Yeah, but let's head back into some of these really small trailers. So the first one with Eris, I just wanted to point out like you see that red stuff in that one frame where she's climbing up like a hill or something, a mountain.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
People are expecting that to be Siva. And we've been having a lot of rumblings with Siva, especially this season. Like we learned what Siva was and like how it was used to fuck over the Iron Lords, especially with Fellwinter.
Yeah.
So people are expecting to like next season maybe be about that or have this be that. I'm not entirely sure. They could use the lore for Siva to explain those like red streaks and stuff on Europa. Like there's actually like red like streaks and marks and stuff. It's supposed to be like radioactive substance of some kind. But it's interesting to see. Are you guys expecting some Siva? in sometime soon?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say soon. I mean, it'd be kind of cool. Siva's kind of cool back in D1. It's a really, like, cool concept for Bungie to bring, like, Siva back. But, yeah, I don't really expect it to be in next season. I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't really expect to see it anytime soon.
I wouldn't say I've got big expectations either on that one. It's just...
Yeah, I think the dialogue from Fellwinter's Lie about Siva was to kind of, like... Not, like, really rap, but it, like, just give more history on, like, the Iron Lords.
Mm.
And, like, it kind of helped, like, that story.
I think it might have just been a bigger part, in my opinion, of the whole, can we really trust Rasputin? I mean, now, look what he did. Yeah. He outright told us, sure, but this is something that he did in the past. And especially since we've had in The Rise of Iron, which I did play that recently, so, seeing the effects of the after effects of that whole debacle, I guess is how I would put it. And despite him telling us outright, it still is, I think, more to sow the seeds of distrust for whether we can really expect Rasputin to help us stop the Almighty and or the Pyramid ships in the future.
Yeah, agreed.
What else?
Drifter video.
Yeah, the Drifter video. Drifter's dead, guys. He's going to go kill himself because he made Gambit.
No, but this was a really fucking cool, like, little trailer, though.
It's interesting.
Like, it was...
It doesn't really tell a whole lot, though. Like, there's more in the Ares trailer than there is in this one, but...
There is, but, like, it was, like, really surprising, like, to see that they're gonna, like, include Drifter.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, that's the most surprising part, is that Drifter's gonna be here.
He's a pretty fan-favorite character. I feel like they might be feeling inclined to include him in more things.
So, like, I'm not, like, a huge fan of, like, Gambit, but I think Drifter as, like, an NPC is, like, really cool.
Drifter is really...
So, I was really happy to, like, see, like, oh, we're gonna get some more, like, Drifter stuff. Awesome. Looks like he might be a part of this next big expansion.
Thorn 2.0 coming our way.
2.0.
Yep. Or maybe he is going to then just... Maybe he's just leaving us and he's like, fuck you guys. Taking Gambit with...
That's alright, little ones. Oh, no. Yeah, I can't think of anything of why Drifter would be there. His whole story was about the Shadows of Yore, right? In the 9?
Yep.
Like,
yes.
I don't know.
I don't either.
It's weird. I can't wait to see this revealed stream that they're gonna do.
Yeah, I do love the inclusion of him though, because it really is just like, seriously, what the hell is happening? Nobody really knows for certain. Yep, this is what's happening next season. Calling it now, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody's bad.
And I like the fact it's not just like they're starting to add more like NPCs involved into this, and it's not just always Zavala and Ikora, and then unfortunately the hunters still don't have a Vanguard. But so it's really cool to see like more NPCs being involved.
So bringing up the Hunter Vanguard, a question I kind of had is, presuming, and I think we've pretty much decided that Deepstone Crypt is not going to be involved in next season, but I am curious if we are ever going to go there to perhaps do something, maybe bring an EXO back that might actually wind up filling that, which I think
would be so cool.
It would be really interesting if they did. What's the EXO's name from Rise of Iron? I think he'd be cool to see make a comeback. Haven't heard from him in a while.
What the hell's his name?
Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yes, right? Where you get the bounties from.
Yes. Oh my god!
I was just about to do the same.
I was just playing Destiny 1 like 3 days ago, and I don't remember. He's got a weird name, doesn't he?
Yeah,
It's
that's
not a
just
normal
most
name.
Exos. Shiro 4.
Yeah.
Shiro 4.
Hero 4. I think it'd be cool to see more of him. Like, he was really interesting to me, even though he's not necessarily super involved, but I think he'd be interesting to
He's
just
got a
suddenly
very
pop
cool
up.
design to him.
Yeah, I love looking at him. He just...
Yeah.
He may not have the humor that Cade had, but that's kind of something that you can't just replace, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I still think it's going to end up being Uldren.
Yeah.
For the Vanguard.
I'd love to see more of him too next season. The last thing I personally remember is that really sad thing in the Dawning event. The lore that you could find, where it basically was just like, yeah, Uldren's just kind of sad and depressed because everybody hates him, but he doesn't know why.
Right.
Like, the poor guy, you got to feel bad for him to some degree, because while Forsaken does make you hate him, at the same time, it's not like something that he just outright did for the sake of doing it.
Right. He was
he's a little
the influence.
I think didn't he partner with them? Like, he was supposed to make, like, maybe they just, like, tricked him, and then they were able to, like...
Yeah, that's what Riven does. It tricks you.
Yeah. Tricked him and took control of him. Basically used him as a puppet.
Because I know Marisol was, like, really upset with him, just, like, throughout the entire thing.
Well, yeah, there's that, and, I mean, even just recently listening to stuff talking about how he went to explore the Black Garden against her will, and talking about how he really wanted to be his own person separate from her. He still wanted to serve her because the Awoken are a matriarchal society, but at the same time, he wants people to know Uldren Sov is here because he wants to.
Yeah.
He has ambitions.
Yeah, exactly. And he shot a little bit too high there, and it kind of screwed a lot of people over in the end. But where's
I still think
Uldren Redemption
he'll
arc?
still be.
That's what I thought Season of the Worthy was going to be because of the name Worthy. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to get Uldren, we're going to have him like, redeem himself, but no.
No Uldren. He's going to show up Tuesday. Heard it here first.
Yeah, I mean, Marisov, I did say is my favorite NPC, but if my Steam name doesn't tell you anything, Uldren Sov is a pretty close second. That's my boy right there.
So let's get into the TWAB. It's a very long TWAB, but there's not a whole lot like news for Destiny in it.
Not really. Controller.
Yeah, which I appreciate that. I really do. As somebody that still intermittently plays with my brother on PS4, I really appreciate them including all this stuff, because there's a lot of games that really don't take that much into consideration, and especially something like this that has a by far different control scheme compared to most other shooters. I mean, you don't know how much it messes with my head when I would go from playing something like COD with my friends and come to this, and I'm clicking right stick to try and punch somebody, and I'm like, oh, why is it not working? So.
But yeah, they basically just said that there's you can just remap the controller now, right?
Yep, essentially.
Yeah.
And that includes like long presses, double presses, stuff like that.
It's very
making it more accessible. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I did want to start off though by mentioning the Bungie reaching out for the Black Lives Matter movement. Mad props to them.
Yep. I was excited to see them make a statement, and I know that they are up there in this role. They're going to be doing looks like charities, similar to what they have done before, so
yeah.
That's really cool.
So there's a bunch of listed of charities on the 12, so you can go there and check them out. And then also Pride Month is this month, so they're also doing something for that as well. Their Pride pins are back, so you can go get those. Benefits the It Gets Better project. It's really cool. I love seeing them do stuff like this.
Yep. emblem actually isn't too bad too.
Oh, it's neat looking.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it. Yeah.
So,
So yeah, let's preview some patch notes. So for 2.9, we are going to get some changes to Eververse. They talked about changes to Eververse a few 12s back. Changes to some reward structures to better balance gameplay rewards with Eververse content. Season of Redacted will contain a few intro changes with more shifts coming in Season 12. The following changes will become available next week. So Legendary Armor Ornaments. We have shifted the Season 11 armor offering to be a gameplay reward for aspirational content. Season of Opulence Intrepid ornament sets are returning to the storefront. So if you didn't get those last year, you can get those this year.
Gonna be me.
Season Pass, they added additional 2,300 Bright Dust to the Season Pass. Woohoo!
there you go, Kane.
Fuck yeah. Can I get Bright Dust for getting to level 200? No. It's like I've just looked over my Season
Bounty
Pass
ward.
ranks, and I've gotten to 200 every season so far. So...
Typical Titan, always doing bounties.
mm-hmm. So what is it now? What's the other one? Highly requested items from previous seasons will once again be available. So you're putting some old stuff in the storefront. They're going to communicate Season 11 silver only items again at the beginning of the season. Changes to Sandbox. Powerful Friends armor mod will no longer stack. Multiple copies of this mod are equipped. The mods will provide no bonus stats. And I didn't know that you could actually stack that mod. I thought it was just one. That's crazy.
Same.
That's how people were getting their double hundreds easy, was by stacking that for 100 mobility.
That's crazy.
It's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
So I know why they addressed it, obviously.
So only solar seasonal mods are intended to stack. No part of Arc mods are intended to have stacking functionality. Powerful Grants granted 20 mobility, which players can leverage to get 3 stat columns, like you said. Season 11 introduces a new Arc mod, granting a similar bonus to Strength and will not stack. Enhanced Auto Rifle Loader, Fusion Loader, and Bow Loader armor mods now have a chance to drop from Pinnacle mod sources.
Yes, please. I need to load my Monarch that much faster.
And then we have raid rewards, which we're pretty happy about.
Woo!
So the following raid exotics will now have increased drop chances, 1,000 voices, anarchy, and always on time. The exotic Sparrow from the secret chest and Scourge of the raid, or Scourge of the past.
Scourge of the raid.
Well, that you know what I think of that raid.
Dude, the
drop
second I
chance
saw it, you jumped ahead. My head.
Drop chance begins at 10% and increases to a max of 50% of over 20 clears. So they do have some, what do they call it again? Protection. I don't know what they call it.
Dupe protection? No, that's not
Dupe
right.
protection. I don't know.
That's not really what that is.
But anyways,
Yeah, I don't know.
if you've done 20 clears, go and try it. You'll get a 50% chance to get it.
Which is great.
And you still won't get no emote though.
No, that's an actual exotic. So trials rewards. Additional masterwork material rewards now drop at 3, 5, and 7 trials wins. Added a trials weekly bounty that unlocks trials engrams on Saint 14. The bounty reward will match the win 3 milestone reward of the week. Trials tokens distribution has been rebalanced to focus on 3, 5, and 7 trials passage. This trials tokens are no longer awarded from match completions. So that stops people from just resetting their cards. Tokens are now granted specifically through wins and bounties. Passage of Wealth now doubles the bonus trials tokens earned at 3, 5, and 7 trials wins. So I'm gonna check out trials next season because of
I
these
kind
changes.
of wish they would have addressed more of the issues that people are having with hackers and stuff. Instead of just that stuff's cool. Don't get me wrong, I do appreciate them bringing all that up. but it's just like that's not necessarily going to encourage me to wade into Trials next season. I probably will anyways, but it's just not the best motivation. There are other things that I would like to see them do first to Trials before that.
They did talk about cheating, like
they said they had anti-cheat, and the only
ago.
thing they really needed to do was just like double up on the people that are doing it, checking out profiles and stuff.
Right.
And also they're looking into adding the you need to have the season pass in order to participate.
I don't know if I'd go that far. Personally, I don't think that that's fair to some people, but I do think they need something to add additional completion so that you don't have people who just come in and create brand new accounts and jump right into it.
Well, that was another thing, is that they're looking into having, like, you need to have a minimum set of hours.
Did they say 100 hours? I can't remember.
I think it was 100, but I can't remember.
It's crazy.
But you have to have a certain amount of hours to be able to activate.
Yeah.
Trials. Excuse me.
It's a decent amount, but I feel like you're really not going to be that confident jumping into such a big multiplayer mode unless you already know that you're going to go in there and play right. But having that amount of time in ensures that there's still...
You still need to get to the level cap in order to participate.
Right.
So you're going to put that
Not
time
if you're
in.
hacking.
Well, I guess you could just cheat for armor, I guess. I don't know how cheating works. Sully?
So, I mean, well, because probably what would happen is, because now they also talked about if you're in the same fire team as a hacker, that you will also be receiving the ban. So I'm going to assume it's probably somebody's doing an account recovery.
Right.
And he's probably with a hacker or two hackers that are just, like, constantly making random accounts if they happen to get hacked. So it's probably what my guess is. So
yeah, I think that'd be interesting. But time will tell what happens with that. That's just my biggest complaint about Trials. Is just there's too many people who are like, wall hacks because I don't want to play the game.
Yep.
Uh,
But unfortunately, you have those people.
Yep.
So other things coming up in this update are upcoming resolved issues. These issues are that the Polaris Lance's perfect fifth explosion shot no longer being cancelled by a shot before it. So you can finally get that catalyst.
Thank God. Thank God. I was like, dude, there has to be something wrong with this gun.
You were right. Who'd have thought?
You were right.
Because it is a pain in the butt to get that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Due to marchers, then your actuators perk will now work after triggering a yellow bar enemy. Players on Steam will no longer have their FPS locked to 30 when relaunching the game.
Yay!
My
friends!
Yeah. We have a lot of people that always mention that. Offline players and clans will no longer have their names set to offline. Great. Warlock Celestial Fire melee ability will now trigger the Winter's Guile Warlord's Sigil perk. What is that perk anyways? I don't use those a whole lot.
As far as I know, it's just more melee damage and faster recharge.
Oh, nice. And current known issues. If the worms used in Broodhold Strike despawns, players need to kill all remaining Worm Knights and place any remaining worms for another Worm Knight to respawn. I had this issue multiple times.
Yep, I had this issue as well. I was running a Nightfall with Kamikaze. We actually had to restart twice.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just leave and then load up for strikes again.
I did look it up, by the way. Winter's Guile, melee kills increase melee damage. That's all it is.
Alright. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else.
Other than all the stuff that's not going to be accessible anymore, obviously, but...
Yeah, but that's obvious. Like,
Yeah.
Seraph bunkers and shit like that.
Yeah, a big part of this TWAB was based off of the controller changes, which was cool.
Not as cool for anybody who doesn't play console, but, it's nice. I appreciate it, like I said.
Yeah. They do have to support the console players as well.
I think more than anything, I just appreciate the amount of work that very clearly went into it. Like, it's not just kind of you've got a couple different control schemes you can pick from. Like, they went all in, fully customizable button mapping for console, which, as I mentioned, is just not something a lot of other games have, to my knowledge, anyways.
Okay, I thought we were done. Sorry. Sully?
No, go on.
Okay. So for question of the week, so if you did a raid with an NPC, who would you pick and why? You can leave your answer in the YouTube comment section or on our website, chargeup.com, under the post. And let us know. So I'll begin with Uldren. Who would you do a strike with? Or not strike, a raid with?
I was thinking about it earlier, and I was kind of on the fence about it. There's a few choices that I think would be really neat, like Drifter would be really cool, especially if you brought in some of his random Taken guys like he does.
That's a super.
It would also
spawns in an ogre
at a similar rate, doing it with Spider and just overwhelming all of his
army that we're funding.
You wouldn't even walk in there. You'd just be like propped up on one of those things.
Just sitting in his hammock,
is Chinese. He's going to be doing his own version of Prince Ali.
He'll be like. It'd be like almost like Baby Yoda. He'll be like in a floating chair.
Yeah, there you go. And he'd just show up and clean house. Nobody would be able to stop him. I mean, if we really wanted to get into it, I don't know how close we're trying to get with our definition of what NPCs. I mean, you could even bring Callus into this and have his army of giant robots show up and just step on people. But I think outright, to be a little more logical with it, other than just, okay, they're going to bring an entire army saying just this NPC, I'd pick Petrovenge. Because I have confidence that she knows what she's doing. I believe that she would have my back. Plus, I play an awoken male warlock, so, we're cousins in their speak. So I know that I'd be able to trust her to protect my life as much as I would protect hers.
Yeah, I like Petra.
Sully?
I like pretty much all the Awoken except for Uldren.
Hey.
He was a dick in D1, man.
Hey, I know you're right, but I don't want to hear it.
Man, if I had to pick one, I mean, that's pretty easy for me, but Osiris.
Ooh.
Yeah, second best warlock.
Second best warlock.
Yeah, I'm the best.
Yeah, it was. But if it wasn't Osiris, because he's too busy in the Infinite Forest doing whatever he does, yes, it would be Drifter. I think just the conversations you would have in the raid with him would just be insane.
If Last Wish is
and the dudes, yeah. Kane?
Who
am I supposed to pick? You picked the best ones already. Like...
Uldren Sully.
I mean, I'm really surprised you're not picking the person who I figured you would.
What, Zavala?
No.
Okay.
Nobody wants Zavala. You just look at me funny while I screwed up every encounter.
Who did you think I was going to pick?
I figured you picked Saint.
Oh, Saint. Yeah, he's running Crucible shit. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I've already got a bubble.
Double bubble.
But he's only busy on the weekends.
He's only busy on weekends. You know what? I'll do like Cora. She seems pretty badass and confident. She knows what she's doing. She's really smart. I think she'd help out really, really well in a raid. And she's not doing anything. So you know what? It's like, hey, just drop on by at Cora. Hey, come with us. Let's go do a raid.
Yeah.
I think that works.
Bring you out of retirement.
Yeah, exactly. So that's our show for today. We'll start with Uldren. I don't know if you have anything to plug.
No.
Social media, nothing. Okay.
No.
I don't exist
right.
on social media, and that's not a joke.
You can come talk to Uldren in our Discord.
Hell yeah.
We got a link on the site, so you can check that out.
I'm the best person there.
You might not be wrong.
Sully.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube at Sully__games.
And you can check me out on Twitter, CSG Thomas. Also, check out chartshop.com. I recently just put up an Amazon affiliate link, so you can use that to shop, and we get up to 10% back on whatever that is that you purchase. So that's cool.
Marasov body pillow.
Oh god. I wonder if I can.
I'm not against it.
I can link to specific items, you know. Give it to you.
Uldren's recommendation: Marasov body pillow.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if you had one of those already.
I don't. I own a pillow that's shaped like an ass. I can pretend it's Marasov.
Well then.
Okay.
I'm sorry I asked.
Yeah, you should be.
This is almost like the Gamecast last week.
Oh yeah. Go check that out, or just check the ending out. I don't know. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, anywhere you get podcasts. Leave a 5-star review. Email me, thomas@charshot.com. And that's it. Eyes down, Guardians.
Beautiful.
Is this the part where I hit stop recording?